much.
Ah, thank you. No, the iPhone. iPhone.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you doing,
I'm
sir?
good. I'm good. It's good to have you and be on your
Yeah.
platform. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ah, NEPA. They should just leave it. They shouldn't switch it over. You have to go and tell them not to switch it over so we don't go off very well. I'm sorry, sir. Just a minute.
No problem.
Yes. So, okay. I'm going to be asking you a few questions.
Mhm.
Hope you don't mind answering my questions.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Okay. So, before we proceed, who
Mm.
did you support in the last election and why? Okay.
Well, for me, I supported Peter Obi. So this one, can you
Okay, you
hear me?
supported. Sorry, they switched the light in 1 second,
Okay.
so that went off.
So I said for me, I supported Peter Obi, and in my and in my own case, my wife is not Igbo. My wife is from Oyo, so it wasn't. So nobody can accuse me of doing this because of relationship.
I
but
know. So that's like
but
you're Yoruba and your wife is Yoruba, so it's not about tribalism or
no,
ethnicity or
for me
anything.
it was about competence. I honestly, if this was like 15 years ago, I definitely would have voted for Bat.
Same here.
I felt he's a bit older now, and we saw what happened with Yaradua. We saw what happened with Buhari, where most
Yeah.
times he's in the hospital.
Yeah.
So for me, it was about I felt Peter Obi is younger, has the energy,
Yeah.
and has what it takes to handle the challenges of Nigeria at this moment.
Yeah.
Of course, if Peter Obi doesn't win, I'm okay with a Tinubu compared to an article. But I supported Peter Obi,
So
and I'm
so
proud.
why do you think um um a Tinubu is better than Atiku?
Why? Because I mean, being a vice president, there was no constitutional responsibility. It was more
Okay.
of what the president asked you to do. So you couldn't. We have not really tested the administrative capacity of Atiku. Honestly,
Okay.
yes, he has. He was vice president, but we didn't test it. In the case of Tinubu, he
Yeah.
was governor for 8 years, so there was that level of testing of what he could do. And
Do
yes, you can argue how effective he was, but the reality
yeah.
was that to a good level, he performed to a reasonable level. Yeah, I would take Tinubu compared to Atiku, but my number
Yeah.
one person was Peter Obi.
Peter. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. So what do you think about the whole election and the results?
Um,
Hmm.
for me, it was unfortunate because honestly, I really would have loved that if Tinubu was going to win, it was transparent and clearly everybody could see that of Buhari went in 2015, how there was a transparency that he accepted defeat and moved on. So for me, I wish that was the kind of case because this is important for business and investment. A
Yeah.
lot of people will have more confidence in the country when
Yeah.
your electoral process, particularly foreign investors, when your electoral process is transparent
Yes.
and credible, and so who knows? Maybe Tinubu will have still won, even if
Yeah.
it was well transmitted and there was no talk,
Yeah.
there was no issue of harassing voters. Maybe we'll have won, but at least it will have been a transparent one. People will say, okay, well, we lost,
Yeah.
and that's okay. But the way he went honestly was unfortunate. And
Yeah.
I think that,
Because,
yeah,
sorry
go
to
ahead.
cut you,
Yeah.
for me, I believe like my own issue with the whole situation was like, why did you encourage the youth,
Mm,
to go out there
mm,
and
mm,
vote
mm,
and promise them that it's going to be a credible election and a
mm,
safe one? Do you
mm-hmm.
understand? And when a
Yeah.
lot of people started seeing all the army,
Yeah.
tanks
Yeah.
trooping to, like places like Lagos where I stay,
Mm,
it encouraged a lot of people to want to go out and vote, believing that everything was going to be safe
yeah.
because, the military people were on ground
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be working with the police. Then all of this commotion, snatching of ballot, breaking of ballots, violence here and there, like, and most times the police people are just there while all this thing is going on, and they're like, there's nothing they can do about it until they now have to call on the army or something to come around.
Mm,
And some people were denied denied the access of their own rights to
mm-hmm.
vote because ballot paper didn't get to some places. There was a lot of issues, and I felt 4 years was enough time
Mm,
for them to have prepared,
mm,
for a credible election, which would have done well.
mm-hmm.
If INEC had done their and transparency, I'm sure whoever had won, people would have really come out in their numbers to still rejoice and accept,
Mm.
accept the defeat.
I agree.
So,
I agree absolutely. Mm.
so
I also feel that it's important that it doesn't matter whether you supported Ashiwaju or you support Peter Obi, anybody. I think it's important for number one that your language is reasonable and your
yeah,
opinion is fair, because
it's fair.
we all need each other. We're all the same. We're fighting for the same thing. We're all
Yeah,
looking for a better country. It's
yes,
just that we both have different candidates that we believe will make it work. However,
yeah.
it's important to treat people right and talk well. I had so many people, for example, were literally insulting me that I didn't support Buhari in
Oh, I
2015.
have been having that I've
No,
been having that on a daily dose.
mine even started with 2015 because they said I didn't support Buhari. But in reality, at the end of the day, many of those who supported Buhari eventually regretted it. I had many who
I also didn't
eventually,
support Buhari,
yeah, I
you
had many
know?
who eventually needed my help and now needed to be retracing their words. And I like,
Yeah,
but you insulted me. I said, I'm so sorry. We believed.
yeah,
So it's same
yeah,
thing where is happening with Tinubu. I think before you rejoice, let Tinubu perform first. I
yeah,
personally have promised a lot of my followers I will come and comment and say, well,
mm-hmm.
I thought Tinubu will not be the best candidate, and he performed.
Yeah,
So wait
yeah,
till your candidates turn Nigeria around. Then come and
yeah,
tell us that you guys
yes,
didn't vote for him. See how he's turned things around. See how things have gotten better. But what
yes,
many of the
yes,
voters do not know is that
yeah.
first thing that will hit them very soon, fuel subsidy will be out of the window. So you have to be paying a
Ah, yeah,
lot.
yeah, listen.
You have to be paying a lot, which it's even a good policy, but
Yeah,
the impact on the people when that start happening, they'll have to remove fuel subsidy. We'll have to, tax will have to be increased. And if you understand the APC policy, particularly since they started in Lagos State, it's tax,
yeah,
tax, tax. So when some of these things begin to happen, you know, many people will now start understanding the concept of policies, the
yes,
reason why you do not vote based on sentiment of, oh, he's from Yoruba race, so support Yoruba race. If Tinubu was voting, conversing for Yoruba nation president, I would be the first to vote for him.
yeah,
But this was Nigerian president. And
yes,
so it's not about, is he from my tribe?
yeah,
He will need it has to be general.
yeah,
See how Fulanese and Hausas voted Buhari. They suffered most. In Castina, a lot of, people in Castina have been dying, have been kidnapped,
mm,
from the same state the man come from. we've seen situations where that somebody is a president from your extraction does not
Mm.
guarantee that your
Mm.
own extraction will benefit. We've seen it happen,
Benefits. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because he
True.
has to be the president of the whole nation, right? So you don't
Mm.
throw in tribalism and sentiment.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't work in the long run. People will learn over
Yes.
time anyway.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, so the next one, you are the GMD CEO of GTEX Holdings
Yeah.
in the US, UK, Dubai, and Nigeria.
Mm.
How did, sorry, how, okay, let me first say, well done, sir.
Thank
So
you.
how did your entrepreneurship journey start? How did it start?
Well, so I start. My story is quite funny because I went to OSU and I spent 8 years there, or 5 years. Um, I then graduated, no job. I remember printing 100 CV. I had a cover letter that said, "Do not pay me until for 6 months until I prove myself," and
Yeah.
I still didn't get job. In this same Nigeria. Okay. So one of the first opportunity I then had to be able to do was to sell real estate for some companies, and then they were going to pay me commission,
Okay.
like a percentage of the sales. And that
Okay.
was one of the first opportunity I was able to start doing. And over the years later, 7 years later, we went into property development, and today we're in 4 continents of the world. So I started in a very humble way. Even business, we started 15 years ago. We started our company with just 1,000 naira. We're a bulk SMS company, later moved into digital marketing. Then 7 years
Okay.
later, we moved into real estate. But it was a very humble starting point.
Beginning.
That's why I could relate to a lot of young people. I could relate with the suffering and the challenges people face where you
There's a
graduate, no job.
there's a lot, it's a lot of challenges, a
Yeah,
lot of challenges people face, a
yeah.
lot, a lot. Okay, so how do you think this election is going to affect businesses in Nigeria? Because this one, I'm
Well,
really interested to hear about this one.
right now, I mean, the announcement of the president-elect has led to the capital markets, having some drop. And I don't think the drop was because they had issues with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I think the drop was because of the process, the lack of transparency, the way INEC went about it. So
Okay,
short term is going to affect the confidence of people, particularly foreign investors, the capital markets, short term. But I think in
okay,
the long term, honestly, I didn't vote for him, but I think in the long term, Nigeria economy will do well under Tinubu. One of the things I said to people was that one of my biggest consolation going into the 2023 election was that I was confident about the fact that whether it's Obi, whether it's Tinubu, or whether Atiku, business will do well in the long term, because these people are very experienced when it comes to business.
yeah,
They've had, and some of their businesses have been some of their policies have been pro-business. When you look at the policies in Lagos, yes, there's tax, but Lagos had policies that encourage businesses
yeah,
compared to many other states. If
yeah,
you have your money, you'll be able to buy land in Lagos. It doesn't matter where you're from,
yeah,
right? And so that in the long term, Tinubu policies will be very pro-business. That is, confirmed, and I can tell you that
confirm.
for. So people should relax and be excited. Yes,
Yeah.
you will pay more taxes, but business will do well. Business will do well under Tinubu presidency.
That's where
Um,
I frown all the time when when it's time to pay those taxes. It's not easy because sometimes your business you run a loss,
yeah,
but most times the way they calculate their tax is just based on, I don't know how they do their calculations sometimes, because it's crazy when they bring those bills. You begin to wonder, like, how was this being edited? How was this being
yeah,
confirmed? And I've been to their office once when they're telling me that You know, they took pictures of me wearing some stuff or carrying some designers, and they're like, I even have to pay tax for this designer that I'm carrying. I said, really? For real? You know, so sometimes the tax thing can really be weird and crazy, honestly, I must say.
They did that for me as well. That they saw me in Rolls Royce, and so I have to start paying the same tax bracket with Dangote and Tony Elumelu. I was like,
Yeah.
so
So, you
yeah,
know, like I just
definitely.
feel like we're paying the tax, but without returns. You
Yeah.
know, what is the government doing? What are they giving to us that, you know, like, because abroad, when you pay tax, you see what the tax is being used for. And
Mm,
it's encouraging and you want to pay more. Do you understand? And
mm.
if your business is not really doing that well,
Yeah.
there's a way the government can come in to help your business thrive or grow. Do you
Mm,
understand? But when
mm.
you talk to them about your business is not growing well, they
Yeah.
tell them that's not their own business.
Mm,
That does not concern them. All they want is, you know, you have to pay the
mm.
tax, like it's a must. They're not ready to, you know, level up with you or try and sit down on a round table and, you know, have a proper discussion on how these things can go and what exactly are they doing. Because Ogami, sometimes those tax, I don't get it. You pay for different tax, land tax, hair tax. In fact, there was a time they wanted me to pay for generator tax, parking, sports tax. Like the taxes are crazy, and sometimes you
Yeah.
just begin to wonder, what's all this? You know. So sometimes that can be very frustrating for people like us that run, small businesses. So
I
yeah,
agree. I agree absolutely. But I just hope that again, I just hope that, and I'm very positive about this, that being that the Tinubu government is now at the center, they have a
yeah,
lot more power, a lot more control. And honestly, them losing Lagos is a big lesson. You could see him in his speech saying, I heard you, you youths, I heard you. They understand. And that's the good thing in this last election. And that's why those who are obedient or articulate shouldn't be sad that Tinubu won. The truth is that your voice was heard, and the people, whoever they gave it to, know that if they don't sit up, you will come after them, right? And there will be no
yeah,
hiding place. And that's the beautiful truth
yeah,
why you shouldn't be discouraged. That's why you shouldn't say, oh, I
yeah,
won't vote again. I don't think so. I think if you keep the pressure, people will know. I mean, before now, you celebrities don't get involved when it comes to even the subject
yeah,
of voting. NSAS, we had to, we the citizens had to put pressure on
yeah.
actors, actresses, musicians to say, it's either you are with us, the citizen, or you want to
Or you're
live your
not with us.
celebrity life.
For me,
And and that
for
has
me,
been this
like,
election.
when they started the NSAS protest, like, um, I can remember my kids actually came into the room to wake me. I was sleeping. They
Mm.
said, Mom, let's go. I said, where are you going to? They said, they are going for NSAS. I said, don't let them come and start shooting gun. You guys, they said no, that they're going, you know. So the first day they even went without me. I
Yeah,
just kept praying in my heart that Father God, these children, they were not afraid. They went. So
yeah.
the second day they were like, Mom, let's go now. I said, okay, oh yeah, let's go, And I went with them. We did the walk. I came back, and it was. I never knew that the youth will come out that way and stand,
Mm.
firm,
Mm.
strong,
Mm.
in their support for a better Nigeria. Because all these things that they're crying for, it's not like they're crying for their own pocket. They're crying for a
Mm.
better Nigeria.
Mm.
They're crying for
Yeah.
security. They're crying for good education. They're crying for good, what's that English I'm going to use? Necessity.
Yeah.
You know, things
Basic
that
necessity.
good, basic necessity. NSAS, I feel, was just like a title. It was just like, the name of the
Mm.
protest.
Yeah. Yeah. It
So
was
I
it was
felt
a
like,
it was a demand for good governance, actually. And
yeah,
like I said, honestly, I was part of NSAS. I remember the first day I came out, some of the young people on the street were like, you came out, like you are not poor, you're not, why you, and I said, look, I have been through the entire process. I know what it means to be jobless in Lagos. I've taken Molu in Lagos.
Yeah.
I've not been able to pay rent and my landlord kicked me out. I've been there to being
Mm.
stable today financially. So I understand struggle. And I know that we need
Yeah.
to all come together, and young people particularly needs to stand their ground until power
Yeah.
move from
Yeah,
our
I was
grandfathers.
really encouraged. I was really
Yeah.
encouraged. I was really encouraged, and I just hope this election that happened will not discourage a lot of, young ones to still come out there and speak. And that's why sometimes when when they try to silence me, because every time I come out to speak, I get numerous calls. I get numerous text messages. I get people who call me, from far and wide and tell me, oh, Iyabo, calm down, don't say anything. Don't say, but we cannot all just keep staying quiet, And I see people go, oh, rest, rest. There's no rest for
Yeah.
anybody. If I rest, it's definitely not going to affect me because I've paid my dues and I've done my part. You understand? It's not going to affect my children. And that's the honest fact. So me coming out to speak, me coming out to say, okay, we want a better Nigeria. Yes, I might have a wrong opinion about Ashiwaju. He probably might get there and do his best, like you say. If he does his best, yes, I would, applaud him and say, oh, okay, because, all the old ones that have being president, I haven't seen anything good they do. And most times when people try to tell me that, oh, Biden is old and he's the president in America, and I'm like, America already has a structure.
Yeah.
They already
Exactly.
have a structure. So
Exactly.
anybody going there is going to do a lot of work, but at the same time, they are just going there to maintain a lot of things, correct few things, and keep to the system that they already have. We do not have a system that works in Nigeria. So it's
Absolutely.
like we need someone who's going to be able to, stand firm, do you understand, and do the work. And someone, because, someone that can be accountable for whatever it is that is going to happen in Nigeria in the next 4 to 8 years. But if people are saying that, okay, he can do it, he can own up to that tax and stand up to the test of time, then let's see. Because, I'm so, it's so funny to me when people tell me, oh, it's the tribalist there, it's because you're dating an Igbo man, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, 8 years ago, hello, you all, he came out. Tinubu came out and said, you know what, vote for Buhari. Buhari is not a Yoruba man. So why can't we say, oh, why is he not supporting his own Yoruba person? It doesn't matter. We are all Nigeria. And I don't have a Yoruba passport. I don't think anybody has a Igbo passport or a Hausa passport. We all have one passport, which is a Nigerian passport. So we are first Nigerians, even before we first humans, we then Nigerians, before you now start thinking of your tribe. Do you understand? So for me, that is it. But like you said, we hope and pray that it gets better, and because you talk about tax now, you pay a lot of tax, but at the end of the day, abroad there's a tax return, right? Abroad, I don't think, is there any tax return here in Nigeria?
No.
No.
No tax return.
So, there's no tax return in Nigeria. So you people just cannot keep comparing Nigeria to the foreign country. They are the advanced countries. They've built that foundation. They built that
The
structure.
good news, the good
It's totally
news,
different.
the good news is that we're having this conversation. You see,
Yeah.
when you look at democracy, US has had over 200 years in democracy, and
Yeah.
up till now, they are still arguing over whether you should carry gun or not carry gun, right? So it's
Yeah.
evolving. What is the takeaway and the good news is that we're all becoming patriotic. Because prior to this
Yeah.
time, most Nigerians won't have this conversation. Most Nigerians will not protest
Yeah.
the election result. Most Nigerians will
Yeah.
not complain. Now that we're even
Yeah.
complaining and having this conversation, it's good news. Because as we
Yes.
all start speaking up, those in
Yeah.
government, whether they are the people who want to be there or not, everybody
Yeah.
starts sitting up.
Yeah.
Everybody knows people will hold you accountable.
Yeah.
People will drag you if you don't perform. And
Yes.
that's how we then evolve into a better nation. So the journey has
Yeah.
started. The new Nigeria has started. I think
Yeah.
nobody should be discouraged. I know with people like you and even myself, people were shocked. I'm an entrepreneur, and that when they attack your business, again, I wanted to show that entrepreneurs should be able to speak. That's how it happens
Yes.
all over the world. Donald Trump is a business
Yes.
guy, the owner of Bloomberg. You see entrepreneurs come out, talk about election, talk about government
Yeah.
policies in developed countries. In Nigeria, they say, shut
Yeah.
up, don't talk. They will come after your business. So we
Yeah.
need to
We
evolve. And I
have to,
intentionally,
because like it, yes. Like you said, sir, sorry to cut you. Like you said,
yeah.
like if you like an entrepreneur
Mhm.
person, you have different businesses like I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much are we really paying our staffs?
Mm.
These people come, there's no amount. They come with the problems. They come with the complaints. Like for me, I was fined recently. I just made, payments for my fine. And what was my fine? The payee tax. I was taking out 1% from all my staff for the past 2-3 years. 1% from their salary, and I was paying the rest. Do you understand? And then, yes, last year when my auditor did the account, they discovered that I was running at a loss because I have been helping my staff to pay the payee tax. So whether I like it or not, the government has to take their money. So I have to close my eyes now and start telling them, I'm sorry, but you have to pay this money. Now, how much is the salary? Some of them are earning 50,000, 40,000, 70,000, 80,000, 120,000, 150,000. But how much is 150 or 200,000 for a man that has a wife and 2 children at home, and everything is high, food is high, school fees is high, like it's really not easy. So if you keep quiet and say, I don't want them to come and attack my business, there is no way your business is not even going to be attacked in the first place.
Exactly.
Because your staffs are not even going to diligently work for you when they are not happy within themselves, when they are going through so many problems within themselves. So this fight is for everybody. And even, yes, it affects the entrepreneurs more,
Absolutely.
in my own, yes,
Absolutely.
from my
You're
own
right.
experience.
You're right. Absolutely. You're very correct.
So
You're
as a
correct.
businessman, as a businessman, what is the future of Nigeria in terms of investment? This one I really want to be. No, I'm interested. As a businessman, what's the future for Nigeria in terms of investment?
Bright, very bright. And I will tell you why. Number
Okay.
one, number one
Because
is
sir, before you say it, though, because I have a lot of my friends. Oh, hello, sir.
yes, I'm hearing
Before
it.
you give your point, I have a lot of
Yeah.
my friends that are always there, like try to convince me all the time to invest abroad instead
Yes.
of investing here in Nigeria. So,
I will even give you all that. The good news with me is that we do business here in Dubai, UK, US, and at a big level, so we have data to compare. What happens is that in developed world, you do not get the level of profit you get in Nigeria, but there is some level of consistency. There's a level of, protection. The rules of investment is that the higher the returns, the higher the risk. The lower the risk, the
yeah.
lower the return. So because there's lower risk in places like Dubai, US, UK, you then see that the returns is not that high. So for example, if you
Okay.
if you buy a house in Dubai, for example, your rental income, depend on the location, moves from between 5% to about 8% rental income, max 8%. Now, the kind of money you need to buy a house in Dubai can buy you 3 to 4 of that in Nigeria, right?
Wow.
Right? 3 to 4 of that in Nigeria. Meanwhile, if you do the same investment in Nigeria, particularly if you do it in the right location, neighborhood like Ikoyi, Banana Island, and some other highbrow location, you
Yeah.
will be looking at rental income going from between 7% to sometimes up to 12%, rental income. So the
Wow.
reality is that Nigeria gives you higher returns because there's huge housing deficit. More people don't have houses, more demand. The population growth is crazy. And you can't have 200 million people leave Nigeria. It won't happen. So whatever happens is that no matter what, the business community, investment, we keep growing up. Oftentimes when I'm coming back to Nigeria, I always realize that, most, and I think it's not just in business class, I think even in economy as well, you will be seeing that more foreigners are coming to Nigeria. Of course, when you are leaving Nigeria, almost everybody in the place will be Nigerians who are
Yeah.
leaving, right?
Yeah.
But why are foreigners coming to Nigeria? Because they can see the opportunities. I do real estate, and sometimes I'm shocked when Chinese people are buying property from me. When in Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
When you're having
Yeah.
foreigners do, and you're like, people are running away. I remember one particular property I bought in Abuja. It was from a South Korean in Abuja.
Wow.
And I mean, an estate we bought. South Korean. He bought the land years ago, fenced it round, and later sold it to us. So these people who are not even Nigerians are coming in, they are putting their money, they're investing because they understand that the return they will get in Nigeria is
Yeah.
way higher than the return they will get from outside Nigeria. So for me, I say, once you're doing with the right organization, with the right
Yeah.
knowledge, with the right mentorship,
Mm.
you will always get higher returns in Nigeria than anywhere else. However, if you can
Anywhere else.
afford,
Okay.
yes, anywhere else. However, if you
Okay.
can afford to do it outside Nigeria, why not? I'm even ready to help you do that. You want to buy property in the US, I'm here for you. UK, Dubai, I mean, we've helped hundreds of people, invest in real estate all over the world. And so for me, any way you want, we're here for you. However, I can tell you, even for our company, we make higher returns, okay, in terms of profits in Nigeria than we make internationally. But wisdom, you can always spread your tentacles, diversify. Some of your assets can be in Dubai, some can be in Nigeria, some can be in UK, some can be in US, but do not discard the need to invest back at home. I remember one of our properties, some people invested 3 years ago, 1.5 million per plot. Today, it's going for 15 million per plot. Now,
Okay.
you can't have that happen in Dubai. It won't happen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get 20% in 3 years, max, maybe because the economy is doing well, either in UK, US, maybe you get 40 to 50% max. But to get, 1,000%, because that's times 10,
Mm.
from 1.5
Yeah.
million to 15 million, that's times 10 in
Yeah.
3 years, right? You can only get that in Africa. You won't get that in US or UK or anywhere else.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So
So
it's
don't give up.
profitable to invest here in Nigeria and beneficial.
It's more profitable.
Mm.
However, you can diversify, right? So the
Okay.
returns here is not that much, but it's guaranteed. The risks are lower.
Okay.
You can buy property in Nigeria now. At the end of the day, something happened, government decide to take over the property. So the risk is higher in Nigeria. You have to take that. You're taking a risk, right? The risk is
Okay.
lesser in Western part of the world, way
Yeah.
lesser. But the truth is, you have to, understand that the higher the risk, right, the higher the profit. The lower the risk,
Profit.
lower the profit.
Profit. Okay. Okay, so thank you, sir. Thank you for all this information. I hope you guys are grabbing the information. If you need to invest in property, you want to just invest your money in any kind of business that, have to do with investment, just make sure you go to www.gtextandassociates.com, and then you're going to find out a lot more about them. All right, sir. So, yes. As a renowned businessman, do you support small-scale businesses? Small-scale businesses?
Yes, I do. And in fact, we launched the Steve Foundation Fund, where in the next 5 years, we're giving out $5 million to SMEs,
Sorry,
1,000.
sir. Sorry. Someone said anyone in Italy. Maybe they're asking about properties or investment in Italy.
They can always contact us. We are not yet in
Oh,
Italy, but
okay.
we can always link them up with credible people.
All right.
Yeah.
So please, if you need to, get more information, you can please contact him. Yeah. You go to the www.gtextandassociates.com, You understand? And you can learn a lot and send. Can they send messages through there, or there's an Instagram page that they can
So
come on?
what they can do, my associates are on my DM, so they can just send me a DM, and my team
Okay, they
will
can send you
respond
a
to.
DM. All right. So
Yes,
maybe I
but
should.
the
Yeah.
website is more for those who want to. Maybe you don't even have funds, because we'll soon get to that question. You don't even have
Yeah.
funds. We want to, partner to be able to help sell and earn, income.
Yeah.
For young people who say, I don't even have money to invest now, but I want to
Mm.
build wealth. You can
Okay.
join that platform. We give, many people have won cars. Many people have, are millionaires through that platform, where they're able
Mm.
to help sell our properties in US, in UK, in Dubai, Nigeria, and they earn commission doing that. So that's what the
Doing
website.
that is for.
However,
Oh, that's
yes,
a nice
however,
one. So, like, even
yes,
if you don't have money yet, but you want to do investments, you
yes.
can start. Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
that's good.
exactly. So, but
That's
for
good.
in terms of SMEs, we launched a fund for Stivatel Foundation, where we give out, in the next 5 years, we have pledged to support 1,000 SMEs with
Okay.
$5,000 grants. We did the first
Wow.
set of people in January. We'll have another set of people in February. So every month we announce winners of Stivatel Foundation grant. And in the next 5 years, we will support about 1,000 SMEs. So I'm big on that. And we also not just give them $5,000 in grants, we also do mentorship and training to
Wow.
support them in business. So yes, we invest a lot in that area.
So, guys, make sure you grab all these opportunities. Though I hope you're listening. You have
Yeah.
to.
They can always
Uh-huh.
visit theMcIntyreFoundation.org and apply for any of our grant opportunities that that is available.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to be saving this video. So, anyway, you guys can always go back and
And
listen
they,
to everything from A to
and they
Z.
shouldn't
And also,
worry, I'm not contesting election. So this is not this is not this is not so that you vote for me.
I know. So, okay, so I'm going to ask the question again. Like, as a renowned businessman, do you support small scale businesses?
Yes. So we do that with training and the grants that we give. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what can a young man who doesn't have much capital and wish to be a global entrepreneur like you in future, how can they get started?
So my opinion is, my advice is always that start small, think big and grow fast. Only the great starts from the top. A lot of us, and that's one of the things I realize about life, and we need to keep telling young people. Many of us want to start overnight. Yourself, I mean, you've been in the movie industries for almost 30
Yeah.
years or more. And when somebody wants to start movie industry and then make it overnight, you're not being realistic.
Yeah.
So the same thing with real estate. One of the powerful principles I've learned is apprenticeship. Who are
Yeah.
those who are in the real estate sector? Can you work with them? Because what I did when I finished school, no job, I had to start selling for other real estate companies and collecting my 10% commission on land. And
Yeah.
gradually, I was able to raise enough capital to become a developer myself,
Yeah.
who now runs business in different parts of the world. So if you can start, and that's part of why some of us are bold today.
Yeah.
Oftentimes I tell people, why some entrepreneurs are scared to challenge authorities is because it was their contract that got you to where you are. It was their
Yeah.
freebies that got you to where you are. So
Yeah.
some of us are able to speak up for the masses because we've never asked them for contract.
Never.
I've never
I've
met
never
Peter B
do.
in my life. I've never met Peter
Yeah.
B in my life.
Yeah.
And
It's same here.
even if you had won, the goal wasn't to ask him for anything. And I've
Yeah.
always said this to young people: you must be able to fight and work hard to build your personal finance. That's why
Yeah.
there's no need to start fighting each other. You need to
Yes.
force, because even if Peter Obi had won, there will still be poor people in Nigeria, right? So you need to hustle.
Definitely.
There are poor people in UK.
Nigeria can't be built in
Eh,
4 years or even
eh,
8
eh, eh,
years.
Exactly. There are poor people in US. There are homeless
Yeah.
people in UK.
Yeah.
You have to hustle. You have to
Yes.
build wealth. You have to work hard. I've
Yeah.
always said it that it is suicidal, almost
Yeah.
suicidal if you are poor in Africa. It's almost
Yeah.
next to be suicidal. My mother died
Yes.
of ovarian
It's
cancer.
like a disease.
It's
Yeah.
like a disease. My mother died of ovarian cancer in Nigeria just
Wow.
because we
May I
couldn't
so rest in
afford,
peace. Yeah.
amen, just because we couldn't afford 550,000 naira to diagnose what was wrong with her. But because I
Yeah.
remember 6 months later, when her boss had to raise the funds to say, let her go to a private clinic, because she kept going to teaching hospital, which were free.
Yeah.
And for 6 months, they couldn't diagnose what was wrong with my mom. Her tummy was as big as a 9-month pregnant woman. By the time
Wow.
they did the diagnosis, it was ovarian cancer. They could have worked on it, but it has spread. And she died a few days after the surgery. But what hurts me the most, and I remember that was a turning point in my life, was that
Yeah.
when I saw the receipts of the entire treatment with the surgery, with the test, with everything as at that time, it was just 550,000 naira. And I
Yeah.
came up with that policy that it is suicidal to be poor in Nigeria.
It
And you
is.
have to work
A lot of
hard.
people have even committed suicide. You know,
Exactly.
there was
So you have to
this woman who burnt herself up because she was owing some, not even up to 100,000.
yeah. So you have to genuinely work your way to the top. And one of the most credible way to do that is real estate, because you can easily begin to partner with real estate companies like ours. And you can
Yeah.
go to that website, gtexandassociate.com, sign up, it's free. There's
Yeah.
regular training every Friday. We've literally, last year we paid over 250 million naira to our members of this association. We have over 15,000 of them, right? Over 250 million naira went to people who were part of this program. So it's something that I think you can start. It costs you nothing, and you can start at that level, and it's free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, are you hearing? Are you guys listening? Thank you so much, sir. Like, it's such an educative information. Yes. So okay, so if I have investment capital of, let's say, 10,000 US dollar and above, what sector do you advise me to move into now that would boom wealth? There is that would boom wealth. There is
Well,
inflation or not. Whether there is inflation or not. Okay.
there
So if
are
I have
several.
$10,000, yeah.
Yeah, there are several sectors. You have crypto, you have forex, you can buy shares. However, the challenge with crypto or forex or shares is, particularly crypto and forex, they are high risk investment, and I think it's important that we have platform begin to educate people about the fact that every investment has a risk. So this
Mm,
concept of I lost money, you
mm,
have to come. It's the same to the election. There's a risk that your candidate may not win. And we
yeah.
have to always be honest with ourselves and be ready to manage our emotions when it
Yeah.
comes to these kind of decisions. So for me is
Mhm.
that you can do forex, you can do crypto, but there's a risk to it. You can lose all your money. You can lose your money. So my advice, number one, always get training about an investment opportunity before you put your money.
That you want to venture into. Okay.
Exactly. So, if, for example, I would rather pay even 2,000, even $5,000 out of $10,000 to learn, right, than to
Mm,
put the entire $10,000 and lose everything. So it's
yeah.
wisdom to invest in the knowledge of what type of investment you want to do,
You want to
and
invest into.
yes, before you then put in your money. But one that
Okay.
I
So
have done,
okay.
yeah,
So if a lot of people like want to like invest now,
yeah.
they can come to you and then you can put them through different kind of businesses that they can learn.
Yes. So what I did was to come up with a university, an e-learning portal called Stevacta University. Now, on that portal, you have not just me teaching you, you have several experts that will teach you on forex, crypto. We even brought world renowned like Robert Kiyosaki, Brian Tracy, Les Brown, Dan Locke. I mean, top global leaders aside myself who
Yeah.
on that platform are able to teach you,
Yeah.
various businesses you can do. Now, for as low as $247. But in fact, today we have a promo with $47. You can join the platform instead of $247, but it's a monthly platform, and you're able to go in, learn. You get certificate for every course you go through, and you're able
Yeah.
to grow. For me, that is the beginning when it comes to anything investment. Learn about the investment, and once you learn, then you can start putting your money. Of course, there are some of us who are already exposed to some of these things. We have, knowledge, so we even have enough resources to go into them. Yes, there are a lot of opportunities like that as well. My advice, however, if you don't want to go into risky investment, why not do real estate? Land banking is one of those things that changed my life. I started buying land years ago. Some of the lands I bought for as low as 750,000 are going for 10 million, 20 million, 30 million. And because I bought,
Wow.
from 50 acres to 200 acres, it's one of those things that has helped me in a great way. So I tell people, I say, look, you have the option of high risk investment like
Yeah.
forex, crypto, or anyone. But before you
Yeah.
do them, go and learn about them so that you know what you are venturing into. There are
Yeah.
opportunities like land banking, where you are buying land, you are leaving it for some years. After some years, you're able to sell those lands, and the returns you will get will be way higher. And so you have all these
Okay.
opportunities, and you can always leverage on them. But ultimately, you can't fold your hands, guys. Okay? You can't fold your
Yeah.
hands and think prosperity will jump on you. It doesn't work that way. You have to take responsibility for your personal finance. Buhari did not wake up this morning thinking about you.
Yeah. True. That's on point. That's on point. Okay. All right, sir. Okay. Hello, sir. Yeah, you seized the beat. I didn't hear your
What
last
was the
word.
last thing you heard?
You said Buhari would not wake up in the morning to think about you.
Yeah, Buhari didn't wake up this morning thinking about you and I. That's the truth, right? He did not. It's the honest truth.
True.
Tinubu didn't wake up this morning thinking about you and I. Even if Peter Obi, if you ask him, he has so many headache he has, and not just you. And the reality remains, ladies and gentlemen, that you and I have to be responsible for the outcome of our finances. A
True.
president will not take away your sorrow overnight. It's the
Yeah.
truth. You
Yeah.
have to understand that your challenges are your challenges, and you have to
Yeah.
work on your finances. You have to begin to think, how do I become wealthy legitimately? What
Yeah.
businesses can I start doing? What investment can I start doing? Okay, it's an irresponsible, it's irresponsibility to think government will take care of you. Life does not work that way. So we have to face the fact that
Yeah.
you and I have to be responsible, have to think of opportunities, and we have to take them. There's risk in every opportunity, but you still have to take the guts. I have the guts to take advantage of opportunities as they come.
Wow. Guys, are you learning? You guys should start, investing and trying to take the bull by the horn. You start, like they said, you can start small. First, you have to just gain more knowledge so that you can have a better knowledge on how you want to go about life and your business. Because for me, I have ventured into so many, type of business. Some have been profitable, some non-profitable, but everything is experience. And like you said, if you acquire more knowledge about the business before going into it,
Mm-hmm.
it will save you, the headache of losing a lot of money
Yeah.
when you venture into a business that you do not have, a good understanding or
Mm-hmm.
a good knowledge about. Because there's some business look very good on the
Yeah.
outside, like, oh, if I do this business, oh, it's going to be very lucrative. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you might start doing the business and you find out that it's not that easy to make money from that business, So
Very.
Okay, sir. So, guys, you can visit www.stephenakintayouniversity.com, or you can call the number that I just pinned down, which is +234-818-000-618, or you email them at product@stephensakintayo.com. All right, sir. So, yes. Sorry for all the questions.
No,
Hope it's not
I'm
stressful.
enjoying them. I mean, I'm meeting you for the first time, and I really enjoyed these interviews. It's a fun interview. You know,
Okay.
you are very controversial. And people like you, oftentimes, if you judge someone like you from afar, right? So you just have, and I think it's one of the things life has taught me. I don't judge people from afar. I try to
Yeah.
build relationship and get to know them. After I've built relationship with you, I now have a bad experience. At least now I'm
Space,
speaking
yeah.
from experience. And I think all of us must learn that. Let's be open people. Let's be open to people who don't, who have different opinion from ours. A lot
Yeah.
of the people who voted for Tinubu are my friends. And what I've
Yeah.
done is to keep good relationship with them and let
Yeah.
them know they have the right to support the person they want. And I'm not
Yes.
going to change our friendship because they are not supporting who I want. Because ultimately,
Definitely.
after the election, we still all need to be friends. Politicians
You
will
know?
come and go, but family is family. So it's nice being here, and I'm having a great time.
All right, sir. Thank you. So, for those that need a mentorship in business, what opportunities can you provide? Because I
Beautiful.
also need mentorship in business. I want to venture into more business,
I
different.
mean, for someone like you, why not? Let's see.
Yes.
I'm thinking
Yes.
of a reality TV show, by the way, for celebrities like you. Um,
Okay.
Honestly, I'm thinking of a reality TV show for celebrities like you. I need to be around businesses. It will
Business.
be around
Yes. I
monetizing your
love. I
fame.
I love business. I love doing business.
It will be around. In fact, it will be around monetizing your fame. And honestly, you can if you're sure you want to work with me on this, I
Yeah.
am serious about it, right?
I definitely
Because
want to.
I feel a lot of Nigerian celebrities have not monetized their fame. If you
Yeah.
look at in the US and the UK, what people have done, celebrities particularly, they've built like a business around their fame.
Yeah.
There's income coming from, of course, them being ambassadors. There are
Yeah.
businesses where they will brand in their name and they'll be
Yeah.
able to make money. How did Kanye West become a billionaire? It was that he gave an idea of how he wanted sneakers to look, and Adidas
Yeah.
produced it, and there's a sharing formula, right? So
Yeah.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at something like that, but starting it with a
Yeah.
reality TV show to be able to
Yeah.
help a lot of, wealthy, a lot of, celebrities to start building,
Building.
building their income, their businesses, and becoming more business inclined, like we have in the
Yeah.
Western world. So, but for mentorship, I have different categories of mentorship. I have the free version. So if you go to my YouTube, Dr. S. Akintayo on YouTube, there are several video content and they are free, right? And you can learn, okay, about different opportunities, different things you can do. So you can go to my YouTube channel and you see that. Then the other one we did is the Stephen University that we've been talking about. And the website is been pinned, where you can be paying every month and you'll be learning from me and several of my own mentors.
Yeah.
Even Dr. Cosmos Maduka, of course, Charis, his contents are there. So you
Yeah.
are meeting globally successful people sharing to say, this is what I did, this is how I did it. And for $247 every month, you're able to learn. And every
Yeah.
month we're adding more people. In fact, what happened is that for some of those speakers, it cost me, thousands of dollars. Some of them charged me $25,000 to produce the content in that university. Some of them charge
Okay.
even $50,000. So, but it has become a global platform for people to learn about how to, grow, and you even get a certificate for every program you go through on that platform. But
Yeah.
what we've done is that some of you can go and get it for just $47 instead of $247. I
Wow.
didn't have the bespoke one-on-one. Those ones are now from between $5,000 to $20,000. Those are one-on-one that we need to have people like you on. So we have various we have various categories, but what we've done is to make sure everybody's carried along. So if you don't have any
Okay.
money at all, go to YouTube, right, and watch a lot
Okay.
of the content.
Yeah.
If you have some money, go to Selecta University. If you want something more personalized, then you can reach out and we have something for you. But feel free, anyone watching. Of course, for people like you, I won't need to charge a dime. You know, there's always a way.
Hey.
Yeah,
That would be really nice. That would be really nice because I believe that if you want to live right and live good, you need to learn the act of making money and investing.
absolutely.
Investing your money in the right way and in the right place. So it's a property
Absolutely.
business, a lot of business, like you said. You know, it's good investment and it's always good. It's not easy to get there, but like you said, you can start small and
Mhm.
you learn as you go
Yeah,
along, as you journey
yeah,
on that road.
yeah.
But the most important thing is to acquire knowledge first, because you have to be knowledgeable to know how to manage and move ahead with whatever it is you want to do. So
Very
I'm
true.
sure my people are listening and they're gaining a lot. What we're doing right now that we're doing for free, that you all are hearing for free. Some people actually go to school to listen to this and, hear
And they
this
pay
and
actually.
get all this, experience and information. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I don't have too much questions. I just have two more to go. So the first one is, and for those who want to invest in real estate, how can they get started?
Beautiful. So for real estate, there are many ways to invest. It depends on what is your vision, what's your expectation, and what's your budget. So I will just share maybe like four ways. One is called rental income. Rental income is you buy a house, and the reason you are buying the house is not because you want to live there.
Mm,
And this is one of the biggest mistakes we make in Africa. We feel that the house you live in is an asset, but in reality,
mm,
it's not an asset; it's a liability,
mm,
because you will still keep spending money on that house to maintain it, to upgrade it, and that house is not bringing more money to you. So
mm.
it is the house you buy and you rent out, and people
That
are
is
paying
bringing
you.
money, yeah.
Yes, that is the real asset now.
Mm,
So in fact, that's why a lot of wealthy people, what they did first was to buy houses that they rented out, okay, before they buy the one they are living in. So unfortunately, in Africa, we're very particular about no, where I will live, where I will live, where I will live. So you need to start thinking real estate in that aspect of, can I buy a house where I can rent out and get what we call rental income? The second category is short lets, where I'm buying the house or I'm renting the house, but I want to
yeah,
use it for something like Airbnb. I want to turn it to like a hotel of some sort where people come in, pay for one day, pay for 1 week, and it
yeah,
generates cash flow on a regular basis. So you can
yeah,
always get training and also evolve into that. We have several people who do that in the US, in the UK, in Dubai here, where they partner with us, we help them buy properties, and we're able to help
yeah.
them get people to be living in it,
Okay.
and to be generating cash for them on a regular basis.
That basis.
That's really how
Okay.
to build wealth, because the concept of financial freedom is that can you make money while you are sleeping? Can money
Mm.
be coming for you, right?
Yeah,
When you are not
yeah,
having to go to the office, talk to somebody. Once you can
yeah,
build structure that is
yeah.
able to generate income without you having to work, then you can say you are financially free. We
Yes.
also have the option, and I'll probably stop there because of time, the option of land banking. And land
Mm,
banking in this case is where you are trying to buy land. It's called the process of aggregating land for the purpose of
mm.
investment or development. So I
Okay.
look at mega city like Lagos. The data
Yeah.
has shown, according to Goldman Sachs, that Lagos is number one when it comes to highest return on investments in the whole of Africa when it comes to investing in landed properties. Is number one, followed by Abuja and I think Johannesburg or one South African city, right? And
Okay.
then according to Washington Post, they did a research and discovered that by the year 2100, which will just be about in the next 80 years, no, 77 years from now, Lagos will be the largest city in the whole of the world, right?
Really?
That, yes. This is not a Nigerian survey. This is Washington Post, Washington, USA. You know, it's a whole research they had to do. And they discovered that Lagos will be hosting 80 to 100 million people. That's how small it is. What does that tell you? That tells you that even if it's 400 square meters of land you own in Lagos,
Yeah.
you literally can become a billionaire from that. And these are the things that some politicians knew all this while. That's why they are not joking with Lagos. They will die there because they understand the potential of the city into the future and how, you know, it's a powerful city in terms of global growth and development. So I tell people, I say every day we currently have between 50 to 100,000 people moving to Lagos every day.
Yeah.
So the land on top where Lagos sits, the value keeps going higher and higher and higher.
Yes, it does. It does.
So you have to think of, let me get my own portion. Even if you now can't afford the main Lagos like Ikoyi, Lekki, you know, Ajah, Yaba, you know, why not think of the outskirts? Why not think of Isheri? Why not think of Lagos Ibadan Express? Why not think of Sangwater, right? Ifo. You know, all those outskirts of Lagos, because the population growth is still hitting those places as well, which is what has happened to Ekpe towards Ijebu Ode now. Because what's happening? People can't even afford the main, you know, and they are moving that way, and they are investing, and the value is going up. I for example, started investing in Bejuleki when it was 500,000, but I heard some people were investing when it was 50,000. So I even came late, right? And and they saw into the future, and we're buying land and we're buying land, and today these people are billionaires. So for me too, is part of how wealth has come for me. I had to invest not just in Lagos. I've had to invest in Abeokuta. I've had to invest in Ibadan. I've had to invest in Abuja. We have property in Asaba. We have property everywhere. And what has happened is one has been able to build a portfolio running to billions today just by having foresight and, you know, securing. This year alone, we're hoping to acquire another 20 estates in Nigeria, despite our investments outside Nigeria. So for me, I'm not giving up on Nigeria because we have massive investment. I practically don't even live in Nigeria. But I'm not giving up on Nigeria because I've seen to the future. The data is saying that that country is going to be great. And it's either you invest now or tomorrow you are regretting and you say, oh, some people corner it for themselves. It's your choice.
Okay, so there's this quick question I want to ask, you know, because I have few lands here and there that I have, you know, invested in. But there's this particular one in Ikorodu, and I kind of got discouraged in developing it because I found out that in Ikorodu, when I bought it, the land was really very cheap. Now, you know, the value of that land has gone up. But if I feel like if I build on, not if I feel, I know that if I build on it and I now decide to even want to sell it, I can't make the money back. Do you understand? I can't make the value of the money because property in Ikorodu, they do not buy it well. The price value is not as strong compared to what you have used to build it. That's one thing. And then if I choose to build to rent, rent in Ikorodu is not like, you know, in Lekki here. So how long would I have to rent those property out? Maybe I build a 4-bedroom or a 6-bedroom on that property. How long would I have to, rent it out? How long will it take me to make back, my investment?
Beautiful question. I love this question. Really love it because it's a valid one. A lot of people are in your shoes. So the first
Yeah.
thing is that Ikorodu is the largest sub of Lagos.
Yeah.
And Ikorodu really has a lot of potentials. Right now,
Yeah.
Ibejuleki is where everybody's attention is, but the land there is almost gone. So in the next 5 to 10 years, attention will have to move to Ikorodu and Badagry because that's the only part where Lagos still has land. So once the fourth mainland bridge, which they promise will be ready in the next, 3 to 4 years, is done, what happens is that you can get to, VI from Ikorodu literally in
Yeah.
20 to 30, 45 minutes because of that fourth mainland bridge. And
Yeah.
it's directly connecting to Ikorodu. So
Yeah.
that will drastically raise
Okay.
the value of
Value of
Ikorodu up. It's
property.
just like
Okay.
Ibejuleki, until Dangote refinery, free trade zone, seaport, airport move to Ibejuleki. Who
Yeah.
cares about Ibejuleki? Who was investing? Epe was so cheap, right? But
Yeah.
as soon
Yeah.
as those things move, and that's the
Yeah.
concept of land banking. The concept is that you look into the future and then you go and wait for it. So even if it's going to be 5, 10, 20 years, you
Yeah.
are planning towards the future.
Towards the
However,
future.
there is a mistake you probably have made,
Okay.
which is that what makes property value go up is called town planning and not even the location.
Okay.
So I'll give you an example. Why is Banana Island more expensive than Ikoyi? Is it not the same location?
Is it more expensive?
Are you kidding me?
I thought all the Koi was more expensive.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Banana Island, 600 square meter right now in Banana Island goes from between 1.6 billion naira to about
Wow.
2.8 billion naira. In
Wow.
Ikoyi, you will still find 600 square meter in Ikoyi for between 600 million to 800 million. 600 square meter.
Wow.
Right? Because we have office in Banana Island, so I can tell you that for a fact.
Okay.
So, but what made Banana Island to go up is the town planning. Is first round. There is drainage. You can walk. My Nigerian apartment is in Banana Island. In the night, I can walk 2 a.m. There's lights. You're not scared. Somebody will harass you on the road.
Yeah.
Just that town
Structure.
planning.
Yeah,
You
the
see
town
now,
planning.
made
Yes.
the value of land in Banana Island to be almost times 2, times 3 of Ikoyi, and they
Yes.
are both the same neighborhood. So
Yeah.
what's going on in your case, and this is part of why we always advise investors, buy into an estate that has a master plan.
Master
So if
plan.
you had bought that land inside an estate that has a
Yeah.
plan, like we have an estate in Ikorodu, it's over
Yeah.
200 acres. We're going to be having a jetty where
Yeah.
there will be boats taking people from that estate straight to Victoria Island.
Yeah.
If I have some VIP housing there, will have such that you will have access, you have your private yachts,
Yeah.
and you also be able to come by road. Now, just
Yeah.
because of the town planning, the
Town planning.
structure,
Yes.
we have
Yes.
the value of our
Yes.
estates will be way, way higher, almost times 3, 4, 5 than the next
Yes.
property if there's no town planning to it, right? So
True.
meanwhile, so the people beside us will be more expensive because they will be using us to sell and say, oh, we're beside
That's true.
Sapphire Estate. Their own value will also be higher than somebody who is maybe way, way farther from us and is still the same Ikorodu, right?
Yeah. I have one like that, which, like, you're very right. The town planning, it's so perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not even stressed in, I'm not afraid to say, they're going to take my land from me, blah, blah, blah. Like, everything
Exactly.
is well documented. Whenever
Exactly.
you're ready, You know,
Exactly.
they have the structure on the kind of way you have to build your house there.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, where I stay in Mega Monia, they
Mhm.
have the rules, the regulations,
Yes.
the way they want the place to be.
Yeah.
You cannot go low, you
Yes.
understand? You can only, you know, go high
Yeah.
and maintain all the rules and regulations. So I have one like that too. I
Yeah.
haven't even started building, you know, but
Mhm.
I am rest assured. But like you said, the one in Ikorodu was when, you know, then you just have small money and you just want to like, let me just use to tie, you know, something down so that,
Absolutely.
you know, let me, oh, you know, and I never knew I was going to come and buy, you know, another house here then. So
Yeah.
I get, and that place is not even yet developed, you know. So I think
Very
that
good.
is, yeah, you're very correct there, sir. Thank you so much for this
You
information.
were.
Okay, so my last message. Sorry, I'm stressing you. This is the
You're
last
not.
one. So
You're
what?
not.
Okay, sir. So what message do you have for your fellow Nigerians as we wrap up this show?
Well, my message is keep hope alive. I think it's all going to be great. You know, and take this from me. You know, take this from me. I can tell you categorically, the future of Nigeria is bright. I understand we're going through tough time now. Everything looks difficult. You know, no fuel, no naira. You have to use naira to buy naira. But here is the point. Generally, Nigerians are struggling all over the world. Here in Dubai, Nigerians have been banned. We just saw the news of a Tunisian president saying that Black Africans, you know, are criminals.
Oh
Um,
my God, I've not heard that.
oh, it's
Really?
going viral now. In fact, a lot of Nigerians had to run to the embassy because of fear of attack, because they are beginning to attack Nigerians. We had the issue with South Africa. But here is what people don't know. This same thing was the story of Chinese people some years ago.
Mm.
This same, you know, attack was the story of Indians years ago. In
Mm.
fact, the Jews were attacked like this. That's what led to the Second World War. But
Mm.
what we are not facing and we're not realizing is that we're building muscles, we're building resilience, we're building
Yeah.
tenacity, we're building capacity.
Mm.
And a time will come, mark my word, the same thing is happening. Literally, if you go to Silicon Valley, all the top CEOs from Google to, except for Apple, Google to many of these companies, you know, Microsoft, guess who the CEOs are? Indians. Almost all the
Mm.
top tech companies
True.
are Indians. Today is a privilege to hire an Indian. You are seen as people who are skillful, trustworthy, so many good things about them. You know, but years ago, even when I was growing up, I remember when you say he's Indian, you see that as the juju people, talisman, that they
Mm.
played a World Cup, they used jazz to win 99, and the opponent couldn't score. You know, that was what we saw about Indian people.
Yeah.
But today the story has
Mm.
changed. So I
True.
see the attack on Nigerians and the struggle we're also facing at home
Yes.
is building us up.
It's really very, it's really very crazy, honestly.
Yeah,
Like Dubai, you know, they
it's
banned us
building
with,
us up.
it's
Yeah, it's
crazy.
building us
Turkey,
up. We will emerge. We will emerge.
Mm.
I've said it. We have to keep hope alive. We have to understand
Yeah.
that we have destiny with. We have dates with destiny. We have
Yeah.
history that's going to be great.
Yeah.
All the record is showing that the world, the entire world, we need Africa and particularly Nigeria
Yeah.
in the next 50 years. Let me give you an
Yeah.
example, which is what Nigerians are not seeing. Why did US increase Nigerian visiting visa and business visa to 5 years instead of 2 years?
Mm.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What many don't know, if I heard this a couple of months ago, a lot of the American government realized that due to the Ukraine war, they will need to rely on Nigeria for agricultural produce into the future.
Okay.
So they are beginning to strengthen their relationship with Nigeria, right?
Yes.
And to go into the future, to begin to have a lot of partnership, a lot of investment in the agri sector. a lot of investment in several other sectors. You know, some things
Yeah.
I may not be able to say on social media about
Yeah.
this new move. But you are not seeing what the rest of the world is seeing. But I can assure you, the rest of the world is saying, this country, you guys have it.
Yeah.
And your future is
Yes.
bright, your future is colorful. So
Yes.
don't give up. Don't give up. You are having a good fight. Keep at it. Demand for what you want. Fight
Yes.
for your rights. But
We
I
just, yeah,
promise you,
because once we just have a good government, I mean, everything would,
and we
fall in
will
place.
get that right. 20 years from now, we will sit down and God willing, you'll be alive. We'll have this conversation and say, can you remember? Right? When this
Yes.
happened, when NSAS, when we fought, when the
Yes.
stories changed. I was sharing in my article, I said, those of us will remember June 12th because Nigerians quickly forget how the hope of June 12th dashed in our very eye. And Abacha came, and
Yeah.
we felt that everybody who supported, Abiola started campaigning for Abacha to become a democratically elected government president. And the
Yeah.
man was killing people left and right, and it was as if all hope is gone. But
Yeah. True.
where's the military today? The
Mm.
military we saw then, right, will never come back. So the same thing will happen with bad democratic leaders, with poor, evil politicians. We will soon see them no more. You give it time, right?
Okay.
You will soon see them no more.
I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate this. Guys, I'm going to pin this down. I'm going to save this video because of, I can see some people telling me, please, I just joined. So I'm going to save the video so that you can get to watch it. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you for all the information. So guys, don't forget to visit Stevens
Stephen at
Akintayo
Kintayo
University.com,
University.com.
please. And you can also call +234 180000618, or you send
And
an email to
they
project.
can send me a DM. Just send me a
Okay.
DM if you have. I have my team,
Yes.
willing to
I'm gonna I'm
answer
gonna
you.
I'm gonna tag his page
Yeah.
so that you can get to send him a DM. All right. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
sir. God bless you.
for having me.
And
I've
yes, I'm
really had a
interested in our
wonderful.
own part, or the celebrity,
Let's do
what
it.
did you call it?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I love your
Yes,
energy.
yeah.
Let's do
So,
it. Let's do
the
it.
energy has to be there, sir. We can't give up. If I
Yes.
give up, a lot of people are gonna give up. Mama youth lawa.
Absolutely, absolutely. Your energy has always been amazing. A lot of people
Yes,
can't even believe your age. Some people will still say you are in your
I
20s,
know.
but your children are already in their 20s. So keep it up.
Thank
God
you,
bless you.
sir. Thank you, sir.